Okay, starting soon. Just want to jump right in. These are going to be fast, easy shots. Oh, the music's fading. Good timing to be awkward. Okay, let me just switch over and get started. So, this is going to be very fast. I might even do 2 or 3 shots. Walnut, hello. Welcome back, thank you. It has been some time. Well rested, very busy, and very hectic. No, hello. None? I don't know how to say that. So this is going to be very fit. This is going to be very fast. I'm just going to be doing maybe 1 or 2 shots very quickly. And just because I'm assembling footage for the actual constraints tutorial, I just want to get a bunch of shots of different scenarios that it's being used in that I can rapid fire. Because, you know, the bummer with tutorials is that they do it on 1 shot. So this is going to be my very basic shot. And it has a lot of parallel stuff. And yeah, so this is going to be very fast. I'm going to track it really quickly. Take this, offset, shift, boom. Now we got 3DE style trackers, but not as good. And I'm not going to track that many points because I don't want to. There's no point for what we're doing. Get out of there. This is a massive lo-fi playlist I pull out of, and this always comes up, it feels like. Maybe it's just that memorable. It's kind of a weird instrument. Did I unlock that other point? Oh, I saw that pop. You know what? I'm going to split my viewer. Let's go camera graphs so I can watch the velocity spike in my trackers. I don't want to track this one all the way through. I came for easy points, not a challenge. What's the next track? I want something different. I probably am going to just track these first next time, because I kind of feel like this is already boring. Very easy too. So I think I'm just going to track the next shots when I do this again. And just like get some shots ready and then just full on, just go solving mode. Danasa, hello Cal, how are you? Danasa, it is nice that you were here. Because, oh wow, it's beside me. So Danasa is an old roommate of mine, somebody who went to the same school that I did. And one year, he gifted me a wallet. And this wallet has finally just been replaced this Christmas. Sister got me a new wallet. But that wallet you got me, Danasa, it's hanging in there. I mean, yeah, it's hanging in there. That's about the most I could say for it. It's pretty beat up. It's a pretty sad wallet now. Oh no, I skipped too far ahead. That's awesome. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm definitely one of those guys who will run a wallet into the ground. I left a big pop in there, didn't I? Or is it just that shift? Ah, whatever. That shift is fine. I don't want to track the end where the camera gets all janky. I'm going to trim this off. I don't need that much footage. Aside from the wallet, though, Danasa, I'm doing pretty good. I'm learning 3DE because I'm being forced to by VFX, and it's fun. I'm very sad of all the things 3DE can't do. The more that I learn about it, the more that I both love and hate it. Speaking of 3D, offset, shift, move. The wallet has a curse on it. Don't throw it out, you must destroy. Cast it into the frozen waters of Canada. It's the only way. Oh, why would the tracker... Oh, I get it. I was gonna say, why would the tracker want to jump over here? But I think that's because it's the same pattern over here, but it's adjusting for luminance. I could have swore that I saw a new button for that. Lighting invariant. What's your biggest 3D grievance compared to Synthesize? Alright, one sec. Haha. There, I turned off lighting invariance, and now the tracker works. Good. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. My biggest grievance with 3DE, actually, you'll see it in a second. Once I get a couple more points. Well, to tell you right away, it's that 3DE you cannot link trackers and give them parallel axes. Which explains the years that I've witnessed 3DE users go and constantly model between Maya and 3DE. Also, you can't do layout really in 3DE. You can't really build out rough geometry that you can work with. The tools are terrible. You can't even make a plane with subdivisions. Like in 3D, if you just want to, you don't have any of this geo. You have like a plane, a box, and like a couple simple shapes. But if you want like a plane with polygons, you have to download a script from their site. And it's a kind of a bulky little script. It's not bad. It's pretty good. But yeah, you can't do basic stuff like, I kind of assumed this would be like universal in most solving software, but it ain't. So it explains the years that I've seen 3D users jumping in and out of Maya. So my biggest complaint is it's either layout, the lack of layout in the 3D in the perspective stuff, or the fact that you can't link parallel trackers. Now 3DE just got this though. 3DE just got a new feature called planar constraint, which kind of does what Synthesize is doing here with linked trackers. So that's a big step up. I'm shocked that it can't do that. I'm shocked that it has no other constraints though. There's a menu in it. In vanilla 3D, there's a menu called constraints and you click it open and there's only one constraint and it's a distance constraint. There's no options like link here, tell it x-axis. These over here are planar. Well, now it does with release 7. But that's about it. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna do a little story time in the tutorial when I make it, but like, I can't believe how constraints just kind of flew under my radar all these years. Because most of the times it's been explained to me, it hasn't been demonstrated. People have said like, oh, just use constraints, and not a lot of people have ever told me that. And I've noticed even some senior users don't, for some reason, don't use it. Yeah, so I don't know how it took me so long to like grasp what it was. It took me going to ILM to see how their solver works to realize, oh wow, all those things are amazing. I wish Synthise had that. And then somebody at VFX, my boss at VFX, showed me and kind of blew my mind when I actually saw it working, when somebody finally demoed it to me. Ooh, a little glass refraction. What's your... Oh, I already read that. Almost read the chat again. Walnut gets double priority. Get a nice floor point over here. Whoops. Bring this up. Also, I wish 3DE... I wish you can hold a hotkey and scale the target box uniformly. 3D, you have to adjust each corner separately. And it's kind of, to me, a little time consuming. But that's just... It's not time consuming, really. But I'm not for anything that doubles the length of time it does to do a simple task. Because it's the little things that add up. So I kind of wish I could hold Control or Shift. Maybe you can. I don't remember if I tried it. But I like Synthise where you can... It's fast to make a tracker, and the hotkeys are great out of the box. 3D's hotkeys are a little disjointed. So at Fuse, we have all rearranged them to match Synthise, and it works pretty good. It works really well when you arrange like Synthise. Russ Anderson like nailed the layout for the hotkeys, I think. I'm so important. Didn't I have a tracker up here? Did I delete it? Where'd it go? Oh, I didn't track it the other way. That's me getting distracted. Can I solve yet? How many points do I have? If I hit F7, bring up the graph editor, come over here, and turn on my colors. I need some trackers over here. So let's see, what's this? Offset. On. Love a good offset. Have you done demonstration for tracking with big wobbly rolling shutter? You know what? I did actually, but it was an experiment because at the time I was guessing basically during the stream because I wanted to try something. Synthise lets you calculate a shutter angle. If you come over here to rolling shutter, you can calculate a shutter angle. You can take this into like Blender, Redshift, Arnold, a bunch of render engines, and those engines often now have rolling shutter implemented into it now. They didn't used to. It took a while for them to get them, from what I saw. So you can tell them it's top-down shutter, give them that angle, and yeah, you can take a warped shutter plane out of Synthise that you can reference in like in your 2D software in your compositor or 3D package. And yeah, so you can work with that, and when you render, you can have your original plate, your original plate with the warp, and you can watch your CG actually lines up where it should. And it's also more physically accurate. So you can have foreground stuff going like if you're in a car driving on a highway and you see the fence posts close to you are like skewed, and the background is like, you know, flat, right? So you can do that. You can have some actual proper rendering just like that with the method that I want to do. Sooner or later I want to make a really big complex video about it, and I would love to hope that it would get traction, but probably not, because nobody will ever implement it. Pipelines are too, you know, there's no room for it. Why is this not tracking? What? I don't know what I did. I feel like you have, but I forgot. Walnut Brain, still no Octane rolling. Octane doesn't have rolling shutter. Huh, Octane doesn't... Octane, that's a GPU renderer, right? No, Redshift has it, and it's a GPU renderer. And Cycles does too. No, they all should have it. Octane doesn't have that. That's weird. Oh, and let's see. Did I get my last? Let's get some points up here, and then I'm gonna solve. And then move on to another shot. You know what? Let's solve right now, just because it's hilarious. Yeah, so it's going. So let's just get a couple quick points in here that I can use. The awesome part about constraints is that if I were to disable this current tracker here and limit the amount of data it outputs, usually the points will be incorrect, and when the camera moves, you'll notice the 3D point will slide. But constraints, basically that won't happen. Because if this point is linked to the point up above on the y-axis, and this point is still active, and other points have all been constrained, there's only so many physically possible places they can be. You can have a lot of data with a lot less data, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's GPU only. Walnut Brain haven't checked out the latest release features yet, to be fair, but I would be surprised. I'd be surprised too. Nobody's doing it this way. I don't know who needs rolling shutter. If you try to talk to anybody, like any supervisors or whoever in your studio, you're gonna get denied. Nobody's gonna do it. Nobody's gonna let Synthesizer 3DE give you a value. It also makes it a little bit trickier for comp to work, because comp, you can't just render, live render the shutter if they're doing 2D elements. But that's why they would work with the compensator plane that Synthesize gives you. But that introduces a number of other things to your pipeline. So it just it complicates things a bit. Me, I need it. That's true, yeah. You need it? You actually need it. What do you need it for? Like, are you trying to preserve your shutter? You're not straightening out your footage? I wouldn't either. Most movies don't either. They just like, oh, your shutter's warping and your CG's not? We'll just go with it. And you isolate your track to little areas. And then your camera rolls and it fakes a rolling shutter. It's really dirty. But that's only for very extreme examples. I get around it, but it would be nice. Yeah. Okay, let's just skip to the end here. Go right here. I don't want to spend forever on these shots. I just want them as like quick burst. Here's a shot, and here's how constraints work. I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to use all of these shots, like little clips and footage out of them. Why is that like that? Oh, it's fine. Okay, so I got 1, 2 on the floor. I got this billboard thingy. I got the Louise sign. So I have a few axis points. Let's get one more on this sign so something can match the Nordstrom logo. And this one will be off axis, so it's going to be a planar constraint right here. Tell you what, yeah, rolling shutter is something you can't fix. You fix it in post-comp. Yeah, cheats. There was a shot that I did for Stranger Things. Back in season 2 of Stranger Things, it was like this shot of this hazmat guy in a suit with a first-person point of view shot going through the upside down, and it was like this big desolate field with vines or tendrils hanging everywhere, and they were going to this junction box or something, or radio tower, I don't know. The shot's rolling shutter was so extreme that I even attempted to propose using a giant geosurface lattice deformer on all of the vines to match the field in their shot. And I was gonna use projected 2D trackers on different planar depths to warp this lattice shape. That would have been extreme. Long story short, they didn't like that idea. It would have worked, but they didn't like the idea. No, I really love the music BG every time you stream. That's good to hear because I've slowly been getting a little addicted to lo-fi music, and I want something that doesn't like scream a distraction. What's funny you say that is I really want to start making my own music for streams. I've been learning to compose and stuff. I wonder if I could play something really quick. Hold on. I'm going to try to play something. It's something I composed. Move away, Spotify. Where is it? This? Is that playing? Yeah, it is. Made that. I also did a little like recomposition or whatever of some song out of Portal 2. And what's this? That's the same thing. Rain. Did I call that rain? Why did I call that rain? Ah. But yeah, I really want to compose stuff. I really want to try and make my own music for like tutorials and stuff. And then I don't have to worry about copyright anything, stream playlists. I don't know. I like lo-fi though. But yeah, just learning. So far my stuff is very basic. It only lasts like 10 seconds long or something. I don't know how to make things longer and sound good. Soothing. Very nice background vibes. 100%. I appreciate that. So I have 3 points in the ground. No, I have 4. Okay, I have 2 for this, for the for that sign. Oh, this is a good one right here. This is a good sign to have a constraint on. Basically, once I get the constraints going, I want the constraints to look really cool in these views. That's all I need. Oh, that's some... you know what? The refraction's not bad. That's like half a pixel. I'm going to track it through. And... I guess up here. I guess right there. Oh, that was kind of bad. I'm also really bummed out that 3DE doesn't have a key for scaling your target box. I'll have to figure out if it does. It might have it. Oh, that's a big shift right there. Let's disable it. Okay, what do I have here? Solve, get some distortion here in refine mode. And good, okay. I'm gonna do some constraints here real quick and just get the show on the road, and then the setup is basic enough. It's what I need just to get some quick clips for this tutorial. And then I'm gonna jump onto another shot real quick. Save real quick. Okay, yes. So, the other thing is I don't know if the ground here is perfectly flat. I'm a little bit like, I'm cautious of floors in a long mall corridor. Corridor? I don't know. I just feel like I've looked at floors in the mall and noticed that they weren't, like, they're never flat. Like, you can see the reflections, but I don't know. It's probably flat. You know what? It's flat. We're going to treat it as flat. Pretend I ever argue that it's not flat. Okay. So, oh, you know what? One more point. This one would be a good one. Sorry. Love a good point. Ooh. I should look at that last frame. Whatever. Okay, solve. That point improved a little bit. This point also, I only tracked it at the end, but we should see that it should lock closer to where it should just because of this point. Ooh, it might not. I'm curious to see what it does. I'm gonna leave this space empty. I'm curious to see what it does with these constraints. Cam 3D. I've looked at floors from both sides. From both sides now. I'll be honest, I don't know what that means. Okay, so yeah, solve now. Let's do a quick solve. First we need either an origin or a locked point. Better if you have two, but in this case, I'm just gonna do an origin. I'm just gonna do one origin point. Really, I could do these two, and I could also increase the distance between these two to make the scale of my scene. But I want to do a parallel link and do a actual measured distance between these two. But, you know, you could do it whatever way you want. Yep, hold on, let me read that. I've been doing Match Move for 10 plus years. Oh, wait. Oh, it's a song. Tanawa wrote a really good thing about, you know what, I guess I can flash this. Really good thing about, yeah, that's basically how Shutter is done everywhere. You ask them where things are going to stick, make the thing stick there really well, and then that little section is going to have a roll in your camera, and that's going to be it. It's a trick. You spot fix your CG throughout your shot. Okay, so let me just go ahead and do this. I'm gonna make, let's say this one the origin, and yeah. So first off, wrong thing. Okay. So again, I'm just doing this quickly. I could answer constraint questions if anybody has any, but you know, this is mainly for purposes of me having this shot prepared to go through it in a tutorial later. I'm going to do a bunch of these. Like, I'm going to do a whole bunch of these shots for this constraints tutorial. So one is the origin, so it's going to snap over there. So if I hit solve, it moved. So now let's tell some other point. Oh, also, let's link this. And we're going to tell this one it's on the x-axis, just because I want to go off this little world thing. Oh, what's this? That makes sense. Yeah, I've done it in the past. Well, for my own. Yeah. Oh, man. Back when you think it's like this dirty, gross thing. And then it's kind of a relief when you figure out it's the industry standard. Okay, so this point is going to be on the x positive. So it's going to face X positive just because I want to stick with like this kind of coordinate. I like my camera usually being down positive Z, but yeah, so this point, X positive, I'm going to come over, change it to parallel to X. And don't worry about that seed. That seed doesn't mean this point's going to snap there. It's a weird display thing. Like this thing will just adjust itself anywhere that you give it for whatever distance you give it. In fact, what is this? 10? Is this like 10 synthesized units here? Is that 10 centimeters? Let's give it a try. I'm just going to put 10. Okay. Now, let's grab a few others. So I'm going to grab maybe the Anne Louise sign. Let's grab... Oh, also one more thing. That X point, if I don't want the whole camera scene flipping around, because it doesn't know which way this X line is pointing. So relative to what it's linked to, we're going to tell it it's positive X right here. You can toggle these to like positive, negative, and nothing. So I'm going to toggle it to positive. And now, let's grab a couple more. Actually, just because I'm curious, what'll it do right now? Yeah, it doesn't do anything. I just solve for fun. What if I turn on constraint? I just want to see if it does. Oh, it does. Okay, cool. I actually didn't know if that was going to solve right away. I couldn't remember. It's been a few weeks since I've been like fully focusing on this stuff in Synthesize. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab, let's say, the Anne Louise sign. We're going to link these, tell it they are on X, and we don't need to do any more polarities. You just need one polarity for 2 axes. So I got these 2. If I solve, what'll it do? Okay, so it worked. You'll notice things flipped strangely. That's fine because the axes are still locked on the lines are still constrained to the x-axis relative to each other. The scene just rotated because we don't have, like, if I go over here, we don't have a z-axis line or a y-axis line. Either one of those 2 would fix this. So, did I get something? Oh, we got a little issue here too. I might have a bad point somewhere. Because... oh no, probably not. I'm probably fine. Okay, so let's just get a z point and see if that corrects itself. I might have a bad point somewhere. But usually, if you don't do enough constraints, it does something, but I remembered it doing something. Maybe this is it. I don't know. So let's get a z or a y. Oh, let's get a y. Let's get this point. The one that I said is a little bit, like, I didn't track it long enough. This one and the ones over here, I didn't track for very long. So let's take this one, link it up to this point, tell it it's parallel on y. And did I do the other polarity? I don't remember. Let's see, if I hit 2 on my keyboard, we have our constraint list. So I did the polarity on this. Did I? What's the polarity sign again? Okay. Oh no, I just didn't do... No, I did. Oh, it's this. No, wait. What signifies a polarity in this menu? Maybe I just never checked, honestly. What's that? I don't remember. Anyway, it looks like I don't have to set a polarity here, but let's just see what happens. Solve. Hey, look, another axis, and that's the trackers fixed themselves. Just like I said. And down here, if I undo, redo, yeah, so this didn't improve much. But let's see what happens if we add a few more, because I'm curious. If I look over here to this point on the right side of this big wall thing, and link it over to this one, I'm going to tell it it's X, but before I solve, let's just see what the difference is. Oh, look, the polarity, it's upside down. It looks like I do need to set something somewhere. But anyway, that wall, you can see it's not flat or parallel. So let's tell it it's on X. Solve. Yeah, so what's facing the wrong way? Did I tell this Louise sign over here to be silly? Wait, what was the other thing that I did? Hold on. 2. Wait, I didn't do... Wait, I only did 1. Sorry. Oops. My poor attention strikes again. So which one is this? This is linked over here. So this tracker here, I'm going to tell it relative to this one, it is -X polarity. And now when I solve this, we should see my scene, because the scene's upside down. You can see the lines are parallel, but technically they're all parallel correctly. It just works in both orientations. So you tell that this point... Wait. That's correct. Did I just set the polarity for 2 X lines? Oh my god, I did. I did. That's silly. I don't need this one here. What I need is a point like this one to be -Y from this one. And now that point right now is relatively +Y. That's why it flipped. It doesn't know which way to go. Now that I've told it it's negative, the scene is going to orient so that this point is below. Hey. Oh, something I run into with Synthesize is I think polarity works with 3D with wait, what? Something I run into with Synthesize is I think polarity works with 3D S-axis setup, Z up. You know, it's funny you say that. Well, you could change that. But there's something else that you're making me think of. So you can change that. But it's funny you mentioned that because if I go into the perspective view and make a plane, you know, let's make a sphere. Love spheres. Spheres are better. Orbit. Control F. Look at the handle axis. Positive X and Y are correct. But I don't understand Z. So if I move this, like, look, I'm pushing the little arrow is pointing in a positive direction, but if you look at the transform over here, it's going up on negative. So that's a weird thing. But other than that, I haven't had an issue with polarity being like 3DS, at least under my settings. But I've noticed that. So, let's see, where else am I? This point. Oh, there is something I want to show here real quick. So the constraint on this board, what if you wanted to constrain things perfectly? Because this point here, I track the four corners of this, this wall thing. So if I want a perfect rectangle, if I link up here and tell it it's on Y, parallel to Y. Wonder if that's a bug. Yeah, it might be. Well, it might be Walnut. Tanawat, it's kind of messed up. Maybe I do a video to explain it one day. Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what you mean. So here's a little thing with Synthesize. Another thing, if you do this link, so let's say this square here, these two top points. If I look up here, you could see they're perfectly aligned, right? So they're flat, and here you can't see them. But if we look at the bottom of this sign, select these two bottom trackers, and look over here, they're not perfectly level. So you don't have a perfect rectangle. So sometimes you have to plan out your constraints a little bit better. So if I select all these, clear their constraints. What you could do, and also for now I'm going to clear these polarities because I'm going to rearrange how these are linked. Okay, so what, does this one have a lock? Oh, it still has the thing. Oops. Unconstrained, clear target. Okay. So here's how I'm going to link these four trackers so that they make a rectangle. So I'm going to link this up here, tell it it's on Y. And you know what? I'm going to tell it that its polarity is negative Y. Now this one, we're going to link it over here. Tell it it's on X. Whoops. Oh, I forgot to say why I'm doing this. Hold on, I'm going to bring those back. The reason I'm doing this is because if I turn off my image, if I wanted to link this rectangle to be complete, if I take this and try to link it over here, you see how I stole that constraint? Now we're going to have the same problem right here. And same thing as if I try to, like, you can't have, the way that I set it up, you can't connect them. So instead, we're going to take these, right click the target point, unconstrain, get rid of the polarity stuff. And now, let's just bring the image back. Also, we're going to do that fancy little gamma thing that somebody in the chat asked for. I believe that was you, right, Walnut, who wanted a gamma thing in the viewport? Was it you? I don't remember. Anyway, so now I'm going to take this, link it over here, tell it it's on Y, and this one's negative polarity, and now that's our polarity's done. take this, link it over here, tell it it's X, link this over here, tell it it's Y. And now you can select this last point and link it over here. So we linked it in a circle. This way we weren't taking away the constraints from anything. And also we're going to tell it it's on X. Okay, so now if we solve, yes, now we have a perfect rectangle. Wait a minute. You zoom in really close. It's not perfect, is it? So is that just since I solve iteration thing? I don't know. It is flat though, at least, so the constraints are working. Man, maybe it's not working as well as I thought it did. It looks pretty good, but so maybe that's just a math thing, like the iterations have to stop at some point. So from the naked eye, and like from what anybody's ever going to do to this, it's pretty parallel. So I'm going to say it worked. I'm the one that asked for exposure option, but I'm just now finding out about the gamma thing. Oh, where's exposure? Oh, I wish I used that one instead. This one's way better than gamma. I didn't realize I was there. Man, I'm so blind. Let's make this bigger. Let's see. One of this, but that makes sense. My gamma thing. Tanawatt. I'll come back soon. Lunchtime. You enjoy your lunch, man. Walnut brain. Yeah, that's the one I requested. Nice. Okay, now. So let's do a couple floor points. So the origin has put the the ground properly where the ground should go. But look at these floor points. L, like things look okay, but they're not perfect. I did not track these points the best, but we can tell these 3 points here that they are on the floor. So I'll come over here and select floor. And again, they're not going to magnetize up to that spot. They're going to just find their way along that surface. So if I solve, there we go. And you could see all the parallel points everywhere. Like they're all adjusting with the new data. Wonder Brain, I have to wake up soon, so I think I'll go to sleep. Have a good stream. Hope there are more to come. There are more. And yeah, you have to wake up soon. Is this like super early in the morning for you? Anyway, I hope you have a good wake up or a good morning or whatever it is that you're waking up for. Thank you for stopping by, and I'm almost done. This stream went up a little longer than I thought it would. So I might just do this one shot. And I'm pretty much almost done. And then spread out my other shots that I'm going to be doing throughout the week. Okay, so last couple constraints. That sign, the food court sign. Well, I have to wake up at 6 hours because it's late for me right now. Oh, it's okay. Okay, when you said wake up soon, I assumed like you're like sleeping, getting ready for the morning, and then notification stream or something. So these two the sign here, I can't tell it it's X or Z axis, but I can select it and I can tell it that it's on a plane, not one of the parallel lines. So if I look over here, the closest plane is Y and Z. So I'm going to tell it Y and Z. And now if I solve, we'll see this flatten out. So solve. There we are. Yeah, so our scene is already looking pretty awesome now. So what's this weird tracker up here doing? Yeah, it's pretty ugly. It's not fixing itself. But what's nice is because these are linked, if I fix this point onto that corner, the origin is going to be fixed. So let's quickly fix this point. Okay, now if I solve, the origin and this point should fix themselves. Yes, they both did. Yeah. So this is kind of it. This is the kind of visuals that I'm kind of looking for my tutorial. So this shot is, I might add a couple more just to be fancy, maybe later, I don't know. But this is kind of it. So if there's any lingering questions, I don't know if anybody's even here still. But because I don't look at views, makes me self-conscious. So if there is anybody there, now's like probably your last chance to add toss in a question or something if you need. I am here. Good. Nice to see you. Let's get... Oh, he stepped on it. Oh, get out of there. There we are. Carm 3D, I am here with you. I appreciate it. Yeah, yeah, it's always like awkward streaming. Like, you know, it's kind of weird with me because I get self-conscious knowing if there's a bunch of people there, but I also get more self-conscious if there's like nobody there. Because I don't have a problem talking because I know that these are going to be watched back by some specific people. So like I know they're going to be used, but I don't know, it kind of feels weird streaming and talking to no one. So that's usually like the worst for me, but what are you going to do? Not everybody is on the same schedule and nobody is obligated to care. Got a hee. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Walk somewhere else, buddy. This is the face of somebody who just wants to impede your tracks. This here. That is just resentment in my tracking ability. Summed up. Oh, we got a closer look at him. He looks like Rory from Doctor Who. Alright, so lock that. Solve, and let's see, where's that point? Yeah, I just wanted to see, I love seeing where the trackers are, and then what they do when I turn on the constraint. So floor, solve. And you could see with that added data. Okay, last thing, I'm gonna scale this. So, yeah, I'm gonna scale this, and then I'm done. Also, I should add on more distortion parameters. Yeah, I definitely needed that extra parameter. Actually, I don't have any trackers on the corners. So that extra parameter is not getting a lot of data to be accurate. For now, I'm going to turn that off. Okay, quick scale thing. So 1 second. I'm just importing a mesh, but like I have some work files that I gotta keep not on stream. So I'm just gonna go file, import mesh. Where's that? Where is it? Aha. Okay, so I imported a mesh. It's absolutely massive. And now, it looks cool though, huh? Big giant feet. It's like the Gravity Falls intro. The giant feet in the woods. Okay. So I can take literally any of these constraints that I have and type in a measurement. I can even take a tracker that isn't constrained, put another tracker and give it a measurement. I'm just gonna wing it with this point because I don't know. Let's try 50 and hit solve. Okay. Is the deal bigger? Carm 3D big guy. Let's go 90. Okay, cool. So let's bring this guy somewhere over here and reference him with the public. He's still a big boy. Let's shrink him down. So I'm going to increase the distance. Let's try 110. Oh, did we just nail it? We basically just nailed it. Let's drag him over to some dudes over here. That dude's a little short. So he's like consistently at a decent scale wherever I put him. So that's fine. So these dudes are just very significantly different in height. Also, I didn't move him back front. Okay, yeah, that dude's like probably not as tall as me, but still kind of tall. I think he should be a tiny bit bigger. Think so? Hey, this guy might just be short. Who's really an average height over here? Let's take this dude over here. You know what? He should probably be bigger. You're right. Hold on. I want to show something that's kind of cool. So if I take a tracker, and I'm going to disable it on one frame. Actually, I'm going to have it enabled for 2 frames. Okay. Solve. And I'm going to tell it it's on the floor. Okay, so this point, because the thing that's annoying is when you scale, I don't want him to get a compliment. Oh yeah. If you take, here's a cool feature I like. So if I scale this, you notice I had to keep moving this guy around. So if I make this like, let's say 130, solve, he moved. So maybe I want this guy to automatically snap wherever I want him to go. So I have a tracker here. So let's do this. Also, let's color this. Blue? Sure. So let's come over to Orbit, Control F. And now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Mesh, Set, Edit Mesh. And we're going to go Linking. And we're going to go Lasso Vertice. So I'm going to click one point. It doesn't look like it, but there should be one selected here. And then I'll shift select. Wait. Hold up. I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to shift select a point. And hopefully one worked. Now with linking, I'm going to go add link and align mesh. Haha, it worked. So here's the cool thing is, so the scale's off, right? Clearly. If I go back here, lock into this viewport, and let's select our scale tracker. Let's take this, reduce the distance to 90, solve, and oh no, he moved. But with the linking, I can go align, okay, and he snapped over for me. So now I can just do quick little adjustments. So 95, solve, and then align. Yeah. Little smidge more. 97, solve, align. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Set edit mesh off. Okay. Perfect. Now he just needs to buy some clothes. He's got enough clothes. Let's see. I'm good. I'm done. I'm scaled. I scaled. I got my perspective. One last thing, I guess. The last thing I would do with something like this is if I wanted this origin to move, I would take the whole scene and I'd move the whole scene to whatever I want it to be, but there's a catch. So let's say I kind of like this, split it down the escalator, little average in the center here. But if I were to solve, it's going to snap back, right? Maybe I don't want to, but I want to keep solving it. So I got to take that origin point and tell it to not be an origin, which is always the center of your world. And we're going to change it to lock. And we're going to hit set seed. Set seed takes the current coordinate of like this point in space. So now when I solve, good. And now if I want to, I can keep adding tracks and constraints and it'll stay here and the scale will stay locked. So you can keep dynamically solving and adjusting things and you're laughing. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, look at the constraints here. I wonder if this is flat. I don't want to fix it. I don't want to fix it. You know what? It's killing me. I'm gonna put one more point. I'm gonna put two more quick points. I have to. I have to. And I don't want to do it all the way. I kind of am though. Let's turn it off. So this point, I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna link it to one of the billboard points and tell it that it's parallel on X and Y, just so that the billboard point solves right snug on that billboard on the planar wall. But it's kind of not parallel, so I didn't make it parallel. Now, this right here, this little bolty thing. Oh, I am not going to carry this on. This is annoying. If I were really doing this shot if this was a real shot, I'd probably track this corner and offset it over here if I really needed. This is also technically a fake. It's an intersecting corner. It's slight, but it's still an intersecting. It's a fake feature. But no time for caution. Cue Hans Zimmer. Okay. So now, if we look over here at this line, now I hope that this floor is flat. I hope that this thing is flat, not at an angle. But let's take that and we're gonna link it over to that one over here. So it's hard to see, but there we have a line. A parallel X line. No, sorry, a parallel Z line. And let's see what it does. Solve. Oh, yep. See how nice that is? Look at how nice that is. Oh, you know what? That's a little bit off. Okay, so something here isn't perfect. So this floor here might not be perfect. So I'm not going to do that. If I wanted though, I could tell it it's on Y and Z. So it's going to stay on a flat surface, but it's going to lift up a bit. Yeah, that surface might actually have an incline. That's pretty like dramatic. No, that's pretty ugly. Okay, so I don't know what the surface is doing, but it wants to free solve. So I don't know what's up with the architecture here. But anyway, I'm done. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm not gonna... I might end up just doing one shot per stream. I thought I was gonna quickly do one and then jump onto another one and have it done and recorded. I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go sleep. All right. If anyone was still lingering, hope you saw something cool that maybe you otherwise, I don't know, didn't use. I don't know. Okay. So, end screen. Oh, look, my graphic updated for the end screen too. I was kind of, I don't know about this graphic. I did a new background animation of like a kind of a new angle and like slightly different like white level. Slightly, it's actually pretty different. But I got new little triangles floating up now. Nice stop track in the mall, you mall. Oh no. Oh no, sir, I didn't ask for puns here. Nobody submitted a request for puns in this chat. That is a pretty good one though. Nice job tracking the mall. You mauled it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna fade this out and enjoy the night.